Hey guys, Ranger Freak 95 here. I have been gone a very long time and I'm not sure if I'm going to be going back to making videos for this channel, but this is just a video from one of my gaming channels that I do have that I put 100% of my focus on. This is a video game review that I have done for that YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, GameLight7. A link will be in the description box below, and also as well an end screen for an end card at the end of this video for you to check out as well. If you like this video, if you like Power Rangers, I probably will talk about Power Rangers on my other channel. I don't know, we'll have to see, but besides this video that's on that other channel, check that out. If you guys like the other content, like I said before, please give it a quick subscribe, and thank you guys so much for supporting me as well. Thank you. So here's a fun fact you probably didn't know about me. I love Power Rangers. I've been a fan of Power Rangers ever since I was a little kid. There was a period of time that I stopped watching the TV show only because I got to a certain point where I thought I had to grow out of liking something like this. But as I grew older, I stopped caring about how people viewed me and decided to go back and enjoy the franchise for what it is. A campy, cheesy kids TV show. But hey, just because it was made for kids does not mean that it did not have any good story arcs. The franchise has been going on for 27 years and hasn't stopped, with around 27 seasons give or take, and 3 theatrical release films and a slew of video games. I could talk about Power Rangers honestly all day. Being such a big Power Rangers fan and my love for video games, I was really hoping one day we would actually get a decent Power Rangers game that fans of the franchise that around my age would enjoy. Now, the biggest thing about this franchise is that no matter what, in almost any scenario, it's always geared towards kids, which I understand because that is what the franchise was built off of. But fans like me that grew up with the franchise have matured and would like to have seen the franchise mature along with us. But I get why it didn't, so I'm not going to be completely upset about that. The most recent reboots of Power Rangers tried to be more mature, and while I really enjoyed the reboots, it did not make nearly as much money as it was supposed to, and the potential for the sequels were unfortunately stopped. However, since the acquisition from Hasbro, we are going to be getting another reboot along with a bunch of other new things down the pipeline, which I am very excited for. There was a mobile game that was released a few years ago called Power Rangers Legacy Wars, a basic side-scroller fighter with a bunch of heroes and villains from the show, and even the most recent reboot. About 2 years later, the gaming developer nWay released this game that we are here to talk about, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. When the trailer for this game came out, I was very nervous and excited at the same time. Excited because, hey, we're getting a new Power Rangers game, so that is always great. However, I was nervous because it looked almost identical to the mobile game, just ported for consoles and PC. When people raised their concerns about this, the developers tweeted out that this isn't a ported version of the mobile game, but an entirely new game that was inspired by Legacy Wars, but with completely new fighting mechanics. Did they live up to their word? Technically speaking, yes, this game feels entirely different compared to the mobile version. There are similarities like having the ability to swap out between fighters in a 3v3 match, but I don't want to keep comparing this game to the mobile version. I want to be able to review this game on its own merits. So what do I think about Power Rangers Battle for the Grid? Well, clearly as a Power Rangers fan, I really like it. However, if you are not a fan of the franchise, then I think it goes without saying that you are probably not going to enjoy this game as much. The fighting mechanics are pretty damn fun, but don't expect Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of mechanics. It ain't that deep. They are pretty simple, but you can chain some pretty good combos really well together, and the fighting is pretty fluid. The controls don't feel stiff, and every fighter is as unique in their own way of fighting. So let's talk about the fighters for a second. When the game first launched, it had a laughable list of fighters at first. Starting off with a list of about 12 fighters when the game launched. This was a sorry amount of fighters for a game in my opinion, at least for Power Rangers, because holy hell, are there a crap load of characters you can pull from this universe to use in a roster like this. And obviously you can't have all the fighters be Power Rangers because you have to have some variety, so they added characters like Goldar in there, which dear god do I hate fighting as Goldar. Typically, I don't ever like playing as big Broly sized characters to begin with.